In this episode, the boys debate whether Root would become the GOAT if he surpasses Sachin, would Stokes turn New Zealand into winners, and are T20 leagues killing Test cricket? This is the Beard Before Wicket, true or false? Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Beard Before Wicket podcast. As always, we're bringing a new flavour to the podcast space, especially the cricket podcast space, changing it up. ChatGPT has given us 10 scenarios. We came up with the idea that we're going to do a true or false. So we said ChatGPT give us 10 scenarios to discuss, and you guys and I will get involved in this debate. Obviously, in the comments, make sure you debate as well. Because some of these I think are debatable. Some of them I think are just things that are interesting to talk about. So let's start at this one, because it's probably the most current one that's going on, probably the hottest debate right now. If Joe Root passes Sachin Tendulkar in runs in Test cricket, is he the GOAT of Test cricket?
Depends. I reckon it depends on how much he passes it.
Do we think he's going to pass it?
Because how old is Joe Root now? He's 34, 35. So he's potentially still got another 3-4 years.
Yeah, I think
it definitely will pass him, but it depends how much he passes him. He could pass him by another 1,000, 2,000 runs.
If he just passes him and retires?
Then you have to debate in terms of, okay, look at the numbers. Hundreds. How many hundreds Joe Root got? 30?
At the moment, 38.
Yeah, and Sachin got 50. 50, I think. So Joe routine is another 12 hundreds. Sachin got 50, hasn't
he? Yeah, but isn't it?
No, just saying that, just in terms of numbers, but
that's just hundreds, though.
Yeah,
numbers-wise, Joe Root would have more runs with less hundreds.
Yeah,
I'm saying scrap the hundreds. This is a Test run debate. Yeah. If he ends up with, let's say, 100 more runs than Sachin and says, you know what, I'm calling it quits. I think you were saying yesterday off camera, that's what you think he'll do, right? He'll go past and then retire.
I think he'll go past him, which will take him another 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And I think then he might call it a day.
Yeah, but that time he'd be 37, 38 as well. But if he just goes past him, then I think you probably got to give it the edge to Sachin still. Purely, I think, because of what he's done. Same as Ruti, but I think in terms of what the pressure he was under with the whole, like I say, India behind him, billions of people watching him, this big idol, this big idol of cricket. So the pressure on him and the expectations, he had a lot more when he played. A lot more expectations was from Sachin. So that weight of shoulder, the weight of the stuff was on his shoulders in that sense. So I personally think that. But if Ruti goes past him by 1,000 runs, 2,000 runs, I think then it's a different ballgame.
The reason why I'll go Joe Root in this situation, and similar to why Shane Warne, for me, is the best spinner ever in Test cricket.
Yeah, that's Shane Warne. 100%.
And even though Murali's got more wickets than him, it's because where Shane Warne bowled a lot of the time. Like brought up in Australia, wickets don't spin as much as Sri Lanka and stuff. But I would put Joe Root, if he goes past Sachin, the GOAT of Test cricket because of playing in England most of his career. Well, all of his career, pretty much. And yeah, the only thing...
But then you would say the same thing for Sachin when he's playing, in England, but then when he plays in India. So you look at Ruti's record in India. So obviously when Ruti goes to India, he plays against what Sachin plays against every other day, which is the spin.
How is it harder to get runs here, right? Is that what you're saying?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
And England is much harder to score.
Yeah. So if you're factoring in that Ruti's played most of his tests in England, naturally, Sachin played most of his tests in India, naturally, it's harder for Ruti to get runs here than it was for Sachin to get runs there. That's what you're saying, right? You're saying...
Well, I'm not saying it's easy.
Tough.
Test runs are harder anyway.
Yeah, of course.
What I'm saying is, like, being brought up in England and being the most, the lead run scorer ever in Test cricket, for me, you'd be the GOAT of Test cricket. But most runs, that's a lot of runs.
I think it's... for me, think it's still hard to go past Sachin. Go past him in terms of runs, but to have that GOAT status, I think it's just bigger than just going past him by 100 runs or so. He's got to go well past him.
I don't think he has to go well past him. Why
no,
does he have to go
I
well
think
past him?
the reason I keep go back to it is the expectations of what Sachin was doing.
No, but I think I think Root had loads of
not to the extent of what Sachin had in terms of billions of people watching and people expecting this, a lot more pressure. But a lot more pressure. I think Sachin was under a lot more pressure. Expectations to score runs is this, is that. People will come from around all of it to watch Sachin play.
Yeah, but that's
of people.
That's got
I'm just saying, so the expectation of that
Yeah, of course there is that, but to go past him, I think to go past him in this day and age as well, I think is GOAT. Only a GOAT can go past a GOAT.
So you're saying if he goes past him, then it's just on
Whether
purely
it's one run,
numbers,
two
purely
runs,
numbers
yeah.
then. So,
Whether it's
so you're
one
going
run,
on
two
stats or numbers that he goes past him is the greatest.
Yeah, no, I'm not purely going on that. I think Joe Root's also an unbelievable.
No,
player.
obviously he's unbelievable.
But I think it's the fact that it's he's done it from England, playing in England.
Yeah, but then the debate would be then how does he do Rooty does not Rooty, but anybody else would do in South Africa, in Australia, in Sri Lanka, in these conditions. You can't, you know what I'm trying to say? If you look at it as a whole,
But
all different countries as opposed to just England.
no,
at times,
it's not just
at
England. He
times
scored
in
runs
England,
everywhere.
but
He
at
hasn't
times-
He hasn't scored 100 yet in Australia, but that doesn't mean anything. In my opinion, that doesn't really mean too much.
No,
And I
but
think
there's at times in England when you're playing, the pitches are flat, proper flat.
Yeah.
Flattest pitches to bat in the world.
No, not as flat as India.
No, at times I said. At times in England,
No, they're flat, but it's never.
but in India, generally in India, when we played, every time we play, it's been like hardish to bat, generally. Spinning, ragging.
No.
Obviously, different conditions, but spinning from ball one. So you have Ashwin opening bowling on
Yeah,
the
but
spinners.
Sachin played way before that.
Yeah, but he still had spinners, people like Shane Warne, Murali bowling to him.
Yeah,
You know what I'm trying to say? But on spinning pitches in India. So you had to then be really good at playing spin. So it's a different way, isn't it? So Sachin is very, very good playing a spin in India. Rooty is very
Do you
good
think
playing
Sachin's a better player of spin than Root?
a good one.
Is,
No, you got to think about it.
Root
I
is the
think.
best player of spin I've seen.
Yeah. I don't
I don't know about that. I think, but Sachin was very well.
Yeah, he was a brilliant player of spin, but Root's got.
I think again. I think
Versus-
Sachin, the conditions he played in was a lot harder against spin. Because like I say, he played in India. The pitches in India, he played pitches a lot more, spinning a lot more than India from ball one.
Yeah, but then you can say.
No, but I'm saying just you're saying how
Yeah, but Root did well in India. Root's got double 100 in India.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
record in India is very good.
Yeah.
no, but what I'm talking about is how he plays Sachin.
I think I personally, in my head, can't comprehend that in 10 years' time people are going to say Root's the
whatever
GOAT.
it is, them two would be the great. 1 and 2. Them two would be the great. But like you say, if you had the one, there's that debate. I'm thinking, okay.
I just
think, is it
personally,
Rooty
maybe
or
it's
what?
like a lack of English bias. I can't put Root in the same debate as Sachin, like in 10 years' time. I just think everyone's going to say
definitely in the same debate.
no, but I think automatically people will always say Sachin's the GOAT.
Yeah, but that's because how we were
Yeah,
brought up with
Sachin,
Sachin
Sachin,
and
yeah.
Lara being. It's like Messi, Ronaldo. That's a bit different because them guys are unbelievable. But I'm going to go Root because I think it's been harder.
Are you going on numbers?
No, I'm going on numbers because his number is going to be better if he goes past him. His numbers.
So
are
if you're
gonna be
talking numbers, then Murali's numbers better than Shane Warne's.
better. Yeah, but my reason is that he did it in England
But some people then say
from England and the conditions in England.
Australia. Some people say Australia harder to bat on times.
Australia is not as hard as playing in England.
England's only hard when it's only seaming, innit?
Swing, seam.
Besides that,
And the spin, there's
Okay.
rags in England.
and then when you go to Australia,
Just bounce, seam here and there. But
but
most
then
of
when
the
you go
time
to
it's
Sri
good.
Lanka, when you go to, I'm giving an example.
He's
These
got
are
a great
hard
record in
places.
Sri Lanka. You can't even
Yeah.
look at his record in Sri Lanka.
His subcontinent record is actually very
Yeah,
good.
very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only, like I said,
It's harder because the conditions as well play a big part in it.
yeah, I'm gonna go Joe Root because of the fact that he's gone past Sachin in the first place is an incredible achievement.
Yeah, 100.
If he does it.
If you go, but I'm sure he'll go past him. I'm sure he'll go past him.
And then I'm gonna go Joe Root because of being brought up in England and scoring in England as much as he has.
I'm going
swinging and seaming a lot.
Sachin.
I'm going to go Sachin.
Even though great from them two, I will be 1 or 2 anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm going Sachin.
Next one. Franchise cricket has become more important for players than international cricket. The initial
Well,
question was
I
actually
agree.
IPL. But
I say false.
you don't think so?
No.
I know, but I think so.
Not for everyone.
Then you look at
Yeah, we're not saying everyone. We're saying
it depends on which country you play for.
Yeah.
It's people like who play West Indies,
Yeah.
South Africa, to an extent. They're the ones who play a lot more
Not
franchise.
South Africa. I wouldn't say it's South Africans.
People not like De Kock, Klaassen.
Yeah, they've retired from
Are they retired? From
Yeah. But I think
obviously a bit whatever, but
you know what it comes down to? It comes down to money.
no, but yeah. So obviously
It's not that it's
yeah,
important.
obviously.
It comes down to financial.
Yeah.
So West Indies don't pay as well as
No, but that's what we're saying, isn't it?
no. West Indies don't pay. No, I don't think it's as important though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
still
but
think-
that's
I
the
still think-
reason it's important, isn't it?
I still think so. For example, West Indies, South Africa, they don't pay as well as Australia, England, India, and this is why it's a bit of a mess at the minute because they do well. Those boards do well, obviously, and everyone watches it. But because they don't pay as well, then cricket's is a short career. So there's a short window. So these guys retire because one, financially, if they're playing IPL and they got great contracts, which they do have in IPL, they're set for life after. Whereas if they keep playing for South Africa only, for example, or West Indies only, they won't be that well off after cricket.
Oh, they wouldn't.
But saying that, IPL is never in an international window.
Mm.
So you can play IPL.
But then, wouldn't you argue then that most of the other tournaments will clash with international cricket?
Yeah.
They do.
IPL
100%.
is there because of the importance of IPL.
Yeah.
It's positioned itself in a way,
Yeah.
and cricket has positioned it in a
Yeah.
way where people go, it
Everybody's
is just
free
as
base,
important
yeah,
as
yeah.
international cricket.
Like I said, it comes down to money because IPL, I think in the whole world, any sporting event,
No more
I
than
think
two,
makes the most money.
Yeah, it is.
So, and that's massive. So it comes down to money a lot of the time.
What was the question again in that time?
Franchise cricket has become more important for players than international cricket.
No.
I'll say yeah to certain players.
I'll say
obviously.
no. Yeah, it comes down to
certain players.
yeah.
And certain, cause I said certain countries.
because if you look at for England, for example, Stokes pulls out of IPL, Harry Brook pulls out of IPL.
Yeah, but it's not every single place. It's certain
Yeah.
players with certain countries.
So it's not that it's more important. If West Indies were getting the money and South Africa were getting the money,
no, but then that's
even
what it
New
is, isn't it? That's what it would be then.
yeah.
isn't it?
But then the guys will still play. They'd rather play for the countries than playing franchise leagues.
Mm.
It's just that they have to play for the franchise leagues to
Yeah.
be good after.
So generally, across the board, you'd
No,
say.
international. I'll say generally international cricket's much more important.
No, you
Not
yeah,
me,
you- no,
but generally everyone would say the same thing. 100%.
yeah, but then we go back to not every single person or certain countries again. They would think that for them, franchise cricket is more important.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if there was
Obviously, international cricket, everybody was playing international
if you had
cricket because that's
international
the
cricket
pinnacle.
here, franchise
the
cricket
pinnacle.
here, you're getting paid the same.
Obviously, international cricket, you obviously
Yeah,
would.
So most of the players play international cricket.
Yeah.
That's why it's more important. That's why I would say that.
All right. T20 leagues are killing Test cricket. I think we've had this debate before, haven't we?
T20 leagues in Test cricket.
There's less Test getting played now than there was before,
Yeah,
but there's also more
Agree.
franchise leagues.
agree.
So
There's lots. There's
I think there's a lot of
franchise,
factors in that, you know. I
agree
think,
with
you know, society generally, right? We want nowadays, we want everything quick. Everything needs to be fast. Everything needs to be short.
Test cricket is more for the old school and not old school, but no, not want to say old school, but you know when you were growing up and stuff, you was Test cricket or just ODI cricket. That was the whole.
but also
thing.
we knew less then, so we didn't know that a T20
No.
existed. So I wonder if we went back to when these big Test matches were happening when we were kids and we were offered T20 at the same time as Test, I think Test would have died ages ago then, because T20, like from 20 years ago, people would have been watching it.
You know what it is? It's not just the older people. So people love watching Test cricket still.
Yeah.
In England, though. In Australia, probably. Or those teams playing against each other. Like if England are playing against away against, I don't know, Bangladesh or whatever. There's no disrespect to anyone. It just, no one hardly watches it.
Mm.
Like, you're not going to sit there all day watching that game. Whereas if it's a T20, I'm not saying people will sit there and watch that, but they got more chance of watching that because it's shorter, whatever. I think the leagues have killed Test cricket a bit, but it's because again, the money and those kind of factors are quite big in it.
Mm.
Yeah, but like I said, the attraction now to the younger generation is generally the T20 cricket.
Yeah,
Like I said before, the excitement, the fast pace, in out 3 hours, done. And obviously, I think but also with that, they can also have a franchise team or because you have one team that's one in England, one in South Africa, one in Dubai, whatever.
Yeah.
They can relate a lot more to that. Right, I'm a play for example Chennai Super Kings, but there's Chennai Super Kings also in South Africa, one in America. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they will have that identity of right, this is my team.
And going back to the point, the last point actually is it's a lot easier to play T20 cricket than it is to play Test cricket.
Yeah, 100%.
So people sometimes would take the easy option. One, you're getting more money for it, but two, also it's less pressure. There's still pressure, but there's less pressure. You can hide in terms of your technique, whatever your flaws that you have in your game. So then that also will be part of why people probably retire and stuff.
Yeah, and choose to play T20
Yeah,
over
100%.
Test. Yeah, I think also fans have changed. Like when I was a kid, I supported a country and nothing else. Whereas now I think people will go,
Yeah.
I don't know, Hardik Pandya. So wherever he plays, I now support the Durban Mumbai Indians or whatever it is.
Yeah, but he wouldn't do that, would he?
Yeah, he would.
No, but he would. He's just
Yeah, I'm saying generally a singular player. People follow
100%.
like players around the world. All right, next question. If Ben Stokes played for New Zealand, would they win the World Cup?
Would they have more chance of winning the World Cup?
More chance, or would they win?
Would they win the World Cup?
Yeah, if he played how he played in 2019 World Cup. If it was that same scenario, then yeah.
So Stokes in general.
I definitely think they have more chance of winning the World
Have
Cup.
they got New Zealand got a similar player to that? They haven't, have they? I don't mean
I don't
similar.
think
As
they've
in
got-
like
I
similar
don't
to
think they've got
Seamer.
a better batter than him.
Yeah, a batter and a Seamer
Game
like
Wilson?
Stokesy.
No, in terms of like the way he plays.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So they haven't. So the chances of them they will go
I think they definitely
very,
have a much
high.
better chance.
very, very high.
Would you say he's
Because they're never that far off.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's that character. You know what it is?
Missing
One
the
thing with New
clutch.
Zealand, right? I think the population's only 4 million. And they're always there, which is incredible, really. But I think also at the same time, some of the players or the chat sometimes around it is we're punching above our weight. We're underdogs, or we're only 4 million. You understand? And it's kind of like an excuse already. A little bit. I'm not saying they use it as an excuse. I'm just saying it's just like that mindset. Whereas the other teams, they don't. I don't think the Indians and Australians, they obviously don't think like that. I don't think. So I think there's a bit of that sort of mindset in New Zealand. Whereas someone like Stokesy, I think the character and the attitude he'd bring would definitely help them.
Would you say he's the one player in the world that could do that for a nation? Like if we changed the question, it was if blank, whoever that player is, played for New Zealand, would they win the World Cup? Is Stokesy the only name that springs?
No,
I think
there's a
couple.
few.
I think there's a
Who
bit
else would you say? Because you're talking more about character here rather than batter. If there's a batter, you could pick. There's hundreds of names you could pick.
You're
No,
saying
but
that purely
also-
because
also,
of
but
his won
with-
matches, how
But
he's
one
done
thing
it.
with Ben Stokes is though, out of most of the batters he's always there. In those tough situations, in those great moments of games, he's there. So it takes a certain batter, character, whatever you want to call it, to do that.
Is there another character in world cricket that could do that?
It's pretty hard to think top of your head. The reason I say Ben Stokes is purely because of what he's done. Like
Well, the
it's a
history, you learn
World
about-
Cup, Ashes, another World Cup. Like I said, being there to hit the win runs in all three. So he's got that reputation now of that. But yes, you have to be a certain character to do that. But for us to think just top of your head, give me another player like that, it's pretty hard to think that. You've got to dig deep to say, right, you got match winners. Like Butler's a match winner in that sense. But
No, even if
Like you see,
if a team had
yeah.
just Butler, there'd be
Yeah,
a better chance.
he's a match winner in that way, in his own right. But with Stokes, like you say, you see very blatant to see that. Okay, 2019 World
Virat
Cup.
Kohli would be
22.
another one.
Yeah, match winner chasing
Because
scores.
chasing games, those tight games.
So a lot of them comes from generally batters who would be chasing. Generally, okay, you got ballers,
pressure.
but you also have ballers who will like win you the game, whatever. But if you're a batter, for example, like Kohli's known for in ODI cricket, one of the best chasers. Chances of that India winning the game by in second probably go up by a long way, 70-80%, purely because of Kohli and how he chases.
Weren't we were having this debate on one of the last episodes about bowlers winning you Weren't you saying bowlers win you the
Test matches.
Oh, is it just test matches?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I thought it was bowlers win you trophies, batters. Like what? I can't remember what the alternate was. So in this scenario, we're saying like what you just said. Then bowlers wouldn't get New Zealand over the line. It had to be a batter. It had to be a Kohli or a Stokes.
New Zealand's bowlers have always been quite good.
Yeah, they've got great bowlers.
So you go on the side, the bowlers still win you tournaments.
No, 100%. You have to, but bowlers do win your tournaments.
Because you could have an unbelievable batting lineup. You could score 300, obviously like 300, 350, whatever. If you got no bowling, you're going to get...
Yeah. All right, next one. Murali was more dangerous than Warne. Not better, more dangerous.
No. I wouldn't say that. I disagree.
Yeah,
I disagree.
Define dangerous as a bowler here.
I would say yes.
I would say no.
And the reason why I would say that is because Shane Warne, even though he had good variations...
So you're saying Murali over Shane Warne as more dangerous bowler?
Dangerous bowler.
You're saying dangerous because he was more unorthodox?
More and harder to pick.
But I think if you...
Well,
if it's just... If you're talking a bit more about the presence as well, or for example, of whose presence was there in terms of mind games, in terms of if a batter was there, would they feel more under threat when Murali's bowling or Shane Warne in terms of playing mind games, setting a batsman up, just the field placing and getting under the batsman's skin in that way?
You're going on character there, though.
Huh?
You're going on character there.
Yeah, but that's just character, one thing. But I think in skill as well. Okay, Murali had the that and the dusra. So they had that and dusra. Shane Warne had to have the skill, bowling leggy on the seam, drifting it. Murali didn't drift it because Murali bowling cross seam. Shane Warne drift the ball, get the ball up and down, pitch it outside leg with a perfect seam position on second slip, spin the ball massive. But then with the same thing, he'll have a slider. Then he'll have the flipper. That's more dangerous. I know Murali, you're saying he'll do that and that.
Yeah.
So his was either...
And he had massive spin as well. Yeah.
But I would say Shane Warne had the biggest spin. Because where would he play? Shane Warne plays in Australia. On pitches that don't spin as much, but he was getting big spin.
Yeah.
Murali now plays in Sri Lanka where the ball spins a lot.
Yeah, so that makes him dangerous.
No, but then...
But then
have Murali ball in Australia. Then have Shane Warne ball in Sri Lanka. In that sense, because we can't go on.
No, but we're not comparing that. We're not comparing that.
No, I know you're comparing that, but for me, I'm just going back to that. For me, Shane Warne more dangerous than Murali. I'll go back to that.
No,
thing.
he's a better bowler. I think he's a better bowler.
Yeah, but I also think he's better, but I also think he's more dangerous. But you're saying Murali's more dangerous.
I say Murali's more dangerous.
I say Shane Warne's more dangerous.
Because of the unorthodox action, and then spinning it both ways, spinning it big because obviously he's playing in Sri Lanka. Harder to pick, probably.
But I think in terms
and Shane Warne didn't. His googly wasn't there for most of his career.
Yeah, but then he had an alternative. He had the slider
and stuff. But it wasn't as dangerous as Dusra though.
Yeah, but it got. But then again, if you look at it, he set up batters. He bought leggy slider, LB bowled. Murali
didn't have to though.
No, but forget that. But then, in terms of skill, who do you say is more skillful? Okay, you're gonna say this is harder, but who do you reckon more skillful?
No, we're not talking about skill though.
But who's more
Shane
skillful?
Warne.
Okay.
But we're not talking about skill.
Okay. No, I'm not talking about skill, but I'm talking about who do you think is more skillful in that sense?
I just said Shane Warne.
So who do you think is more of a dangerous bowler?
Murali.
Okay. I think Shane Warne.
We're not talking skill.
No, I'm not. I know we're talking skill because I was talking about skill. I talked about presence firstly of that.
We're not talking about that.
No, but I'm saying what we're talking about. What I was saying, skill, presence, and just the whole thing.
You win, man.
No. This is what I'm saying. What I think. I think Shane Warne.
Okay. Shane Warne's a better bowler.
Yeah.
No doubt.
How would you define dangerous?
Like harder to pick.
Shane Warne's not hard to pick. The slider and leggy, they're exactly the
No,
same.
Murali's definitely harder to pick. The ball's going from behind his hand.
Yeah. His action and
but from Shane Warne, Shane Warne's slider and Shane Warne's leggy was very similar. One with spin, one with skid. How many wickets did Shane Warne get that I can think of top of my head?
Okay, how many wickets did he get with Dusra?
I don't know, lots.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. But I'm just saying.
No, what I'm saying is, his action was first of all a lot harder to see, pick whatever you want to call it. Dusra, so it's not just going straight; it's going the other way. And if you can't, like most batters didn't pick it, and you're out. So in terms of danger, there's two different questions. Skill, better bowler, Shane Warne, everything else. In terms of dangerous.
More dangerous is because Murali was harder to pick.
Yeah. So it makes him more dangerous.
I disagree. But I'm going Shane Warne.
All right, next one. Brian Lara was more talented than Sachin Tendulkar. Define talent first. That's the struggle.
Agree.
Disagree.
No, I would agree. I think the talent would be, when somebody picks up a cricket bat and they'll say to play a cover drive or play a flick shot or a pull shot, and they just do it, and it looks so easy on the eye, and it just looks like, all right, this looks, because it doesn't go back to textbook stuff. So Sachin, generally, if you look at the way he sets up, if you actually look at a textbook of how to play cover drive and
But
the front foot defense, whatever. So it's more.
That's the talent.
What hard work? Yeah, obviously hard work in that sense. You got to work hard. You can't just
Obviously hard work. Everyone works.
No, but when people do say, okay, he's talented, or he's more talented than him, what do they mean by that? So that's why I go back to for example, Lara, he would pick up a bat, he would have a bat up there.
That's
foot drive.
That's just natural.
Natural what?
That's just natural.
Natural talent.
Yeah, but Sachin's just because he's high backlift.
But
had that, and that's just natural talent as well.
Yeah, but if you actually go, I'm going back to if you actually go by, not the tech, but how to actually play a front foot defense.
The reason why I disagree. It
would always be like the front foot way going forward.
The reason why I disagree is because Sachin, from 16 years old, was unbelievably talented from a very, very young age. Playing Test cricket at 16.
No, but we're just talking about action. No, we're not talking about Test cricket or ODI cricket. We're talking about just the actual. But listen,
he was playing international.
If you have Sachin there and Lara in front of you, batting, not Test, nothing, then who's more talented?
Yeah, I'm going to guess this. I'm still going Sachin because from 16 years old, the guy's playing international cricket against all the fast. Like his way of batting was good enough for international cricket then. So for me, that's like unbelievably super talent.
No, but you're going back to what he did. As in playing Test cricket, we're going back to actual just both of them are batting there with a cricket bat. Yeah. Both play.
So I would say Sachin.
We're not going on.
He's saying from the moment he picked up a bat when he was 16.
But he picked up a bat. But we picked up a bat before then, didn't he? He picked up a bat.
Yeah, but saying when you picked up a bat when you were 9.
Yeah.
But Sachin was playing Test cricket when he was 16.
Yeah.
So he's saying at such a young age
to be that good, that talented. To be playing.
There's lots of guys who have.
No, but we're not talking about when he was 16. We're talking about talented in terms of more than natural ability in that sense.
So this kid, Vaibhav, I can't remember his last name.
Vaibhav.
He's talented.
Yeah.
How old is he?
14, so would you say the people who are younger and get into?
No, that's not the only reason. But there's a reason. I'm giving my reason for why I think.
But I said.
So he's saying like.
So you're basically. Let me
finish for 2 seconds. So he's basically saying because Lara did that naturally and went bang. No, listen. Let me finish.
Okay.
He looks like he's more naturally talented, whatever. But I'm gonna say the other way. I'm saying the fact that Sachin was so correct and so perfect in his technique, for me, that's just super talented.
But Lara, okay. But Lara also the same thing. You're talking about that. But if you're going on stats or if you're going on Test cricket, Lara did not as in terms of longevity or good runs. But you said Test cricket. You played, I'm just an example. Not stats, but you're saying you played Test cricket age of 16 and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's not stat.
I know it's not a stat, but we're saying is forget the Test cricket or you didn't play Test cricket or whatever. Yeah. But if you look at both in that sense, who would you say is more talented? If you had to look at both, we're not going on that. We're not going on.
The question is,
somebody played Test cricket at 16 and he did this, and you have to be super talented.
The question is Lara more talented than Sachin?
So I would go back to yes.
I would say he's not more talented than Sachin.
I would. It's hard.
Remember, we're not talking about hundreds and 50s and stuff.
We're
talking about actual.
No one said that.
Or playing at the age of 16.
Yeah, but I think your definition of talent is slightly different here. But my definition in my head is when someone's 14, Vaibhav, he's talented. I don't describe him as.
No, you could be talented at 40.
Yeah, you can be talented, but you could be talented at 14, 15, but still not play at the level he played.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the fact that Sachin was playing Test cricket in Australia, whatever, I'm just saying that that for me just edges Sachin because
No, but what if Lara was at 16? You look at Lara, it was as talented as him, but he just didn't play Test cricket.
no,
But he didn't get the opportunity.
He would have played.
But you didn't get opportunity, but you didn't get the thing.
He would have played.
No, but that's what I'm saying. We're not looking at who made their debut at 16. We're looking
But
at
also, hold on,
talent.
could you not argue that India have been producing batters for so many years that for Sachin to jump into that team at 16 years of age, he was talented enough for that to happen?
No,
Whereas for
yeah,
Lara,
that's
if
fine.
he was-
I'm not saying that. We're saying he's talented. You're asking me to compare from between Brian Lara and Sachin personally.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, what he's asking.
Who's more
Can I
talented?
finish? What he's
I know
asking
what
is,
he's asking.
huh?
I know what he's asking.
What he's asking?
Who's more talented?
No, he's not
No,
asking
but-
that.
In that way.
He's
Come on.
asking,
Go on.
is Lara more talented than Sachin?
Didn't I just say that? Who's more talented? Did I not just say? Did I
No,
not say? He's asking who's more talented. You just repeat what I just said.
Is Lara more talented than Sachin?
Yes.
Okay, I'll say no.
I kept, so I understood the
move on.
question, but you started to make it like no. But I would go back to I think Lara's more talented.
Okay.
Final question. South Africa will never mentally recover from losing an ICC.
Another
Yeah.
Nah, false.
False.
So
If
if they lose, like just say the
No.
next World Cup comes and they lose the final of that, you're saying they won't be able to recover.
Yeah.
No, they'll recover because
Never is a strong word.
yeah, that is just like I
Like-
said because there's so many.
Very difficult.
There's so many ICC World Cups coming up along the way. There's 2, 3. Once they break that one,
Yeah, but once is the word we always use with South Africa.
yeah,
for
but
everyone.
eventually or once,
Eventually,
whenever
once
they
the-
will because their team's sometimes too good for them not to win.
But their
eventually.
team back in the days with like...
Okay, they just right now they just won the World Test Championship. That's
Yeah.
that's a big thing. That's a thing as well. That's something big.
No, that's huge. I think that would be great for them. But we're talking
World
Let's
Cups.
talk World Cups and
I reckon.
T20s.
Yeah.
So let's say, scenario, they get to the World Cup final in the next one. They play in... which it was very recently that when they played... Was it?
India.
Yeah, and they needed 35 from 33 or whatever it was.
You know what? I think
They'll
that was a
break it.
killer
They
for
don't.
them.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was a
like
killer
it
for them.
folded.
Because that was a very good side there.
Yeah.
And I don't think they'll have a side as good as that
North
for a
Africa.
while. Yeah.
Yeah, that's serious side. But
Yeah.
I still believe that in years to come they'll win a World Cup.
But
So
they
they'll get over.
they
So
haven't
they'll
with
get
better
over.
teams.
I know
think-
that one,
think
but
it's
they
gonna
will.
take them
They
a
will.
while to
They'll get over
Yeah.
that.
recover even just from that one.
Yeah. But I reckon
It's great
yeah.
that they won the Test Championship. But I think in white ball cricket, I think they're going to struggle for a while still.
Yeah, I think that scenario, I think it was 35 33. Who was batting?
It was less than that. It was 20. It was 26. It was like 30 of 26 or something.
Was it?
Yeah.
And I swear it
And
wasn't
there
like...
are 5 wickets left.
Yeah, I was
Maybe
gonna
even
say, it
6
wasn't
wickets left.
It wasn't the tail that was in. I can't remember who was in.
and
Yeah, so...
somebody was batting.
Yeah, and they folded. Like, I think when that happens to you... Because in that moment, you guys will have to tell me, but I think in that moment, they're all probably going, we've got one hand on the trophy here. Like, we could walk this. And more often than not, a team would walk that situation. If that was England, they would have walked it. If that was Australia, they would have walked it. So the fact that they went through that, I don't know if, like...
If they don't win this next one, coming up, when is it?
2026 March, March. I think.
Yeah. So in Feb coming up, if they don't win this one, I think they're going to really struggle after that.
Because also it works in cycles as well, right? Like, they've had
They're going to struggle for a while.
an unbelievable... Never's a strong word.
Yeah, that's too
never's
strong.
impossible to say.
Yeah.
If they don't win this one, because they've still, like, at the minute, they've still got really good players like Markram, Rabada. All these guys are still playing. Klaassen's retired.
Yeah, that's a big one though. With Klaassen going.
What's his name is retired?
The cock obviously. as well.
De Kock is retired. So sometimes, right, what happens is when you're inside and like your bigger players retire, kind of takes the pressure off a little bit of the team. But with South Africa's case is different. They've been dying to win for ages and they've just missed out narrowly so many times. So I think either the pressure's going to be a little bit off them or it's just going to be too much for them. If they don't win this now in Feb, I think they're going to struggle for a long time.
When you say a long time, like what do you mean, like? Because
Like,
remember, there's World Cups every 1-2 years, like
Yeah.
every 2 years.
Yeah,
So
but then-
the opportunities there.
I think
Quite a
India will
lot,
be
quite a lot,
strong.
quite a
Australia
lot.
will always be strong. England will always be strong.
I reckon within the next 6 years, I reckon they'll win a World Cup.
I think there's always cycles. I think every team, maybe bar New Zealand, has like a period where like you've got your best players and the best situations, the best scenarios, and then when they go, it takes a while to rebuild the whole team
Yeah,
again.
that's just normal.
And then like, I'm trying to think who's coming through for South Africa now that you can hang your hat on that. Maybe.
No, there's good players coming through.
Of course,
You've got
there is,
good
but it's
all-rounders, you've got
but if
like-
you think about say Sri Lanka, they had that period when like
Jawadina,
the goats, and then we had,
Sangakkara,
like,
Jasuria,
15 years of like
Yeah, Malinga and these boys.
yeah, like 15 years of struggling to get the team together. Now they've got a decent team together, but now they're up against India and Australia. So then this cycle could be another 15 years for South Africa, and then they don't win it for another 15 years.
Let's see, innit?
Yeah. All right. Right. I hope you've enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. Sitting here watching you debate every 2 minutes. Let us know if you enjoyed it in the comments below. And of course, if you're following us on Spotify or YouTube, wherever you follow us, as always, thank you. And if you're new here, then make sure you follow us. And we'll see you in the next one.